Today is Sunday, August 21st, 2018. Get ready for the Emergency Broadcast System, the Forbidden History Series, what they didn't want you to know, but we tell right here. Now's the time to call your friends. And good afternoon, evening, Lynn, Shelly, Ninja, y'all love. And special thanks to YouTube.com for hosting the Forbidden History Series. We now interrupt your normally scheduled programming to bring you this very important deprogramming program. And thank you for that audio check, Lynn. Please note that the following views and the opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily the views nor the opinions of the Master Force Group, YouTube.com, Free America Radio Network, our sponsors, our partners, and MFG is a private society. Nothing here is ever to be construed as medical nor legal advice, nor hate speech, for that matter. And listen to the Forbidden History prime time, 7 days a week, right here on the realpublicradio.net, because hidden beneath the sands of time lies the greatest of all mysteries. It's the Forbidden History. Unearth for yourself the secret truths that lie hidden just beneath the surface below our feet. What is it that the powers that be do not want you or I to know? Come and journey with us as we explore and dare to know, because it's all right here, coming your way on the Forbidden History series, the realpublicradio.net, Free America Radio Network. Stand by for the broadcast. Coming to you live from Studio Z at the Lighthouse in Central Ohio, in the heart of Amish country, and Free America Radio Network, in the land of dreams, enchantments, and nightmares. It's the Forbidden History series. Symbolism, the words that kill, the piracy of words, the ABCs of light, duality revealed in patterns, pictures, in nature. The great lies of history, the book reviews. It's all right here, ladies and gentlemen. We are the deprogramming program. What they didn't want you to know. And you know why we are here, of course, right? Because here is where we bring you the most important information on the face of the entire earth, or under the earth. Here is where each week we bring you the very best in radio broadcast listening, while we reveal the greatest secrets, what they didn't want you to know, but we tell right here, and the deeper mysteries of life. Yet the one thing that will always remain will be this. Can you handle the truth as it will be presented here, this morning, this evening, this afternoon, wherever you are around the world? Stand by for the broadcast. It is the Forbidden History series. It's the battle for the mind. The truth, it is light, but ignorance, it is a deep darkness that envelops all, and these are the great antagonists, the one against the other. For of all things that great civilizations can create, there's only one thing that they cannot create, and that is the light. Imitation light is not light, ladies and gentlemen. It is imitation. There is only one light. And once we can begin to comprehend the true nature of things as they really are, then we can begin to comprehend that there is nothing more to complain about. And what it is what it is. That's what they say, is it not? And we just have to learn how to deal with it. And you don't know what you don't know until you are tuned in right here on the realpublicradio.net, Free America Radio Network. And the best way to identify the truth is, of course, to identify the great lies of history. And you know, the bigger the lie, the more people are inclined to believe it, ladies and gentlemen. And it is an amazing phenomena in nature. And if you don't know where you're going, good luck. Any road will get you there. And welcome to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Desert Owl, a bird who sees in the night. And they're still trying to pluck my feathers, and that's okay, because the great breath of the wind and fire breathes light and pure shelter. The pure shelter is what the sun symbolizes. It is there is no other force other than light. That's the beauty of knowing the truth. There's only one power, and it is the light, and the light is Yeshua. It is Yahweh. It is the great one, the play of the one in this great drama we call planet Earth. And in the beginning is the Word, and the Word is the A.62, and the A.62 is Yahweh. It is the flaming sword. It is the shower. It is the Savior. It is the royal center. It is so much more, ladies and gentlemen. It keeps unfolding, and I have a special presentation on A.62 tonight, on words, symbolism, and primarily words, but words are based on symbols, and if you don't know what the symbol means, you will not be able to give a true value to the A.62 that you are re-adding. Re-add the riddle. Read is re-add the riddle. And the sun is the great logo, and it is the essence of creation. The great symbol is light. That is the logo. And the ocean and its waves, it creates a perfect example. You know how you ever gone to the beach and those waves, they just keep rolling in. I imagine everybody has thought about it. Do the waves ever stop? They just keep coming in, one after another, never stopping. Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave. And that is the algorithm of the great breath of the wind and fire that breathes. It is a remnant sign, and it is a current signal. It is a current signal because the blood of the earth still breathes from the star, from the sun of creation. Without the light continually breathing, spilling its blood, then we would not be alive at this very moment. And yet nobody gives any regard to the sun as to being the great logo. They don't talk about it. They don't get it. They don't care, and what have you. But we need to know these things, because if we do not know that we know that we know, then guess what? We're just beating around the bush, and when it's all said and done, you'll have no place to go. And there is a place where we can go, okay? And Ninja, you're sending out algorithms right now. Woohoo! I love this. Let there be light. Desert, I can hear you now. Okay, yeah, I noticed you were having an audio problem, so glad you got that worked out. And yes, I am etching, and thank you, Zeva, for. I used to have an Etch-a-Sketch. These were this little red square tool you drew on as a little boy or girl, and then you can shake it upside down, and all the etchings go away. And so, yeah, that was quite a technology for its day, I thought. And but anyway, we're on the road, ladies and gentlemen, and we got a short time to get there, and it's a long road into eternity. And how do you know that you know? You don't. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you do know. But we can find out. But it is through the scripture. The great voice has been communicating through the signs and symbols of nature, and calling out. But not everybody is called. And then it says, and many are called, but few are chosen. So just because you're called doesn't mean you're going. Just because you're reading the book doesn't mean you're there. It's so deep, and you need an experience. You need to look for the signs of communication, but then they continue to grow, and they get more intense, and it's called a marriage. It's in the parables. It's a marriage, because it is reuniting with the one that you came from, as spirit, not as physical matter, not as flesh, but as spirit. We're talking pure energy. So I have a few cards here with some information. I've been sifting through the 40,000 3x5 cards I'm sitting on that need to be data processed and put into a dictionary and help in the translation project. And by the way, I want to welcome any new listeners that are out there. I hope you're telling your friends about the broadcast, everybody, and letting them know about the production we've got since June 21st of this year. I've spilled so many beans that they'll never be able to be put back into the bottle, into the jar, because if you notice, those first 2 weeks we talk about things that nobody else is talking about, and I'm learning things as we go along as well. It continues to unfold. So let's talk about destiny versus fate. Okay, destiny. You see, the word there is destination. So within your destiny, you have a destination, a point you're going to. But in fate, then you can see a fault, because there is no fate in the way that it's described, like in astrology or in the voodoo that people are purporting. Like they read the stars and the stars tell your future. That's not that's a fault. That's not, and that's fate, because you don't want to be faded into fate. You can hear the word fade in fate. Okay, so destiny may be likened to a man who must travel to a distant city, whether or not he wishes to make the journey, the destination being his destiny. He may choose whether to go by way of a river or by way of a plain, whether across the mountains or through the forests, or on foot or horseback, slow or fast, or whatever. But whatever befalls, because of this decision, then it is fate. That is to say, if he doesn't make the destination, the journey, then that is fate. But if a tree falls on him because he chose the forest path, it was then ill-fated. For luck or misfortune is an element of fate, but destiny leaves no choice, as fate gives limited choice, which may be good or bad, but it cannot be averted. What is fated must be, for at no point can there be any turning back. And that comes from the Kolbrin, Book of Creation 5:3. Those who are in, but the difference is in Yeshua, the covenant relationship, those who are in the Moshiach, the Christ, have been predestinated, and yet they still must meet the mark, ladies and gentlemen, or be ill-fated. So the decrees of fate are many. The decrees of fate are many, and the decrees of destiny are few. So if you're in Mashiach, if you're in Yeshua, then you have a destiny. And so it's not to be feared. There's no longer reason to fear what fate may happen to you, because that is also the illusion. When Kefe came out of the boat, he saw Yeshua walking on the water, and he said, "Let me come to you." And so Yeshua says, "Come." And Kefe, aka Peter, gets out of the boat and he starts walking on water. And then all of a sudden he looked at the wind and he looked at the clouds and the darkness and the deep, and he became afraid, and he thought he might sink. And so therefore he did start to sink, because he doubted. And then Yeshua reached out his hand and caught him and put him back in the boat, which is symbolic of the body of Yeshua, the sanctuary, the body of Yeshua. And he says to him, and this part comes out actually from the lost gospel out of Tibet, which is called the Gospel of the Perfect Life. And he says, "Why did you doubt? Wasn't it not I who had called you out?" So you see, if Yeshua called you out, then to walk on water, then there is no reason to doubt. He wouldn't have called you unless he was able to hold you up by his great power. And there is no longer need for the ill fate of misfortune, because you have a destiny of a great paradisia, of a great citadel called Yarul Eshalom, an eternal realm in a day without end. And so you have to keep marching on. It's not going to be handed to you on a silver platter in tinsel gold. It's going to come to you in a great mystery. It's going to come to you very possibly, as it says in our scriptures, that you will suffer persecution. You will meet the test of fire. You will be proven as to whether you're worthy to go into the great halls of eternity. Nobody skips and hops their way in. It is a gift. It is the great reward. Okay? So the Mashiach called us to be an opposite in a world of contrary behavior. When one would like to when one is injured, when they would like to find the remedy by maybe arguing or fighting back or taking them to court or whatever feels right at the time. The Mashiach says to forgive our enemies. If they take your coat, then give them your shirt off your back. If they ask you to go a mile, go with them 2 miles. It's truly a contrary way of behaving. When how do you love your enemies? How in the world do you? So it comes from a deep discipline of continual meditation and prayer and reading, re-adding the riddle. Because by acting contrary to the way people are in the world, then you are putting on the Mashiach. When somebody accused him of something, he never responded back. He didn't even flinch. Like, what's your problem, right? It's your problem. If somebody else is bothering you, then maybe they shouldn't bother you no matter how they are. If you are set free, if you know who you are, if you are one. And I'm not saying that I haven't been in struggle, okay? That I haven't been challenged, that I haven't failed. But we're talking spiritual truth here. And that fear is false evidence appearing real, absolutely, Lynn, in the great mystery. But of course, those who are in the world are in the outer darkness. So their fears are justified because they've got no covenant relationship. They've got no covering. They've got no shelter, the pure shelter at high noon of the Mashiach. And welcome to, I think it's Lil Wayne on the brain, okay? Interesting title. And welcome to the broadcast. So there's a word called solipsism, and it means the belief that there is no such thing as truth. And let there be light, Shelley. The belief, solipsism, a belief that there is no such thing as truth. Of course, the word belief right there is a loser, because belief means to give little credit to something. And so that's why I say I don't believe anything, because it is about knowing. And belief is the enemy of knowing. Imagination versus realization. Imagination, the scripture says that Yeshua and the Shultres, which is the original word for scriptures, the Shultres cast down all imagination. And realization is being able to see the things that are right there in front of you and seeing them as they really are. In the word artifacts, they talk about artifacts and archaeological discoveries. Bill Hicks is Alex Jones. Lil Wayne, didn't you know that? Anyway. So artifacts, we find the evidence. Just like we've got the in Arabia, they're hiding the biggest artifact on the planet, which is the real Mount Zion, and also the rock that created the Wayne, the Great Lake. They split the rock and the river came out. And Mount Zion, and and it's all the evidence is all around, and people have snuck in and got photographs. You know, Ron Wyatt and other people, and the Noah's Ark has been discovered in Turkey, not on the top of a mountain, but in the face of a mountain. And even the Ark of the Covenant, of course, discovered by Ron Wyatt underneath the very spot where Yeshua was crucified at the base of the skull on the road of Calvary that went past around the city of Yerushalayim. So artifacts are the artifacts and the evidence. And so we always want to see evidence in things, and all the evidence of our eternal nature and of the false nature of this world. It's all around us. And for all the great Father of Light has given me, I'm amazed that that people are so easily swayed into the matrix of this deception. The truth is out there. The truth is in front of us at all times. The sun itself is the great symbol. Start looking at the light and then see how it all unfolds. And Tambert, good to have you. And thank you also, Tambert. Very good. Tweeted the stream. I'm not even I'm a bird, and I'm not even on the Tweetsy. What's that Tweetsy thing called? I'm not into the technology. Boy, oh boy. I've already got enough with an email and my YouTube channel here. Okay? Wisdom lies not only in seeing things as they really are, but seeing through things as they really are. Okay? To be able to pierce the veil. Ignorance, ignorar, the Latin for ignorance, ignorar, literally means to ignore. Ignorar means to not know, even though necessary information is present right in front of you, because that info actually yet has been willfully refused or disregarded. Okay, so it means to ignore. Ignorance is to, thank you on Ninja Twitter. Yeah. Okay, I thought I had enough on my plate and didn't need any more. But thank you. I'm glad somebody out there that knows how to tweet has tweeted for us. Thank you, Tam, very much. I'm tweeting right here. Nescience, a Latin verb, is nescere, to not know because knowledge was absent or unobtainable. Well, it's true that if you had an education, educate, ed, means to, or what they removed. Okay, it's what they removed. It's not what they told you. It's what they didn't tell you. Ed, as an editor, what they removed. And thank you for that heads up, Lynn. That's correct. Put it in capital letters. That would be assistance. So we're going to get a little bit into the words now. And, talking about technology. Okay, if you know how the word tricks go, okay, Facebook, and we talked about the word face being faces, which means fascia, which is the fasciae or the fasciae. So literally Facebook, we could also clearly define then, knowing the true etymology of the word, is facious book. Facious book is Facebook, and what is their address? One Hacker Way. One Hacker Way for facious book, fascist book, Facebook. Put two and two together, ladies and gentlemen. They rejected me the first time I tried to sign up, and so I guess there was a reason why I shouldn't be there. And thank you, Timber, again. Okay, so Elohim is the corrupted form of what we've been pronouncing as Elohim, the Elohim. You can hear the very words in there like, I love him. Because Elohim is feminine. It is the creation itself, the sun, earth, and moon, the stars, and even creation itself is speaking a cosmic message, a voice. But But now I finally got it. I finally got it. It was the longest time to figure out what is the transition from L, because the E is a corruption. And it's not L, it's actually, we were saying Olafame, like as in olive being the evidence of the more original, the love, the true love, the perfect love, olive, right? And that's what they use for the anointing. Well, yeah, Lil Wayne. Well, basically, pharmakia is the Greek for pharmacy. That's right. It means occultic, and desert is with a Z. Just so you know. But it's the in essence witchcraft, right? And that's why the first medical program on television back in the 1950s was called Dr. Kildare. And what and if you decode it and read it correctly, it means dare to kill, doctor, dare to kill, right? Give them a little bit of that overdose, because we need their liver, we need their organs. Play a little music, you know what I mean? Money, funny money, yeah. But back to Elohim, Olafhaim, Olafhaim. So it's really, because Elohim means enlightened and El as the prime root of that, it's really the Ul-Lavhaim, the Ul-Lavhaim. And so there we see the vision with the Ul as the owl, as we talked about the word soul, with the S for the serpent, and the OOL, Sul, is the owl. So it's the serpent owl. So you got two natures. One is of the serpent of the earth, crawling on your belly, eating the dust of the earth every day, 3 times a day. And you're welcome, Lil Wayne. And but the owl then is your spirit. Your owl is your spirit that's seeing in the darkness, trying to figure things out. And so it's Ul-Lavhaim. It's been a long journey to see that, but I'm now certain of it. The Ul. That's why the occult, they call themselves owls, because they've designed our matrix, and they're thinking, oh, they know all the secrets, right? The Freemasons and the Jesuits, right? All super powerful because they know something you don't. But so that's why they call themselves owls. And that's why they gave owls the bad rap, right? We know owls are pretty cute little creatures and have a very special quality, unlike all other birds, and in their ability to see in the night very well. But Ul-Lavhaim, ladies and gentlemen, I'll spell it for you in the box here. Okay, let's do it. Ul-Lavhaim. Okay, from the corrupted form of Elohim. Okay, big difference. And of course, the original was in all capital letters. There was no upper and lower case originally. Another construction of man to hide the light and to mix things up. So another word that has been a long comer to see all of him. There's another good aspect of him, and thank you, Zeva, for that one. That's beautiful. There's several ways you can read it. All of him, and all of him. Yeah, absolutely. So Volshaf, Joseph. I saw it as Volshaf, but now I've seen it in the more deeper over this weekend. It's really Vol Eshafe. You know how we talked about the word Esha coming up as the primary word that they hid from us, yet it's on the map. We got Esha Menor, meaning the light of Esha. What is the light? It is the sun. It is the light that shines every day. So it's Vol Eshafe, Vol as in volume, vault of the Esha, which means the royal eye, the royal A, and the Fe is the virgin light that comes down. That is the royal eye. That is the royal A. That is the beginning. At the beginning is the light. The sun first shone in the darkness, and then the planets came out from the sun. The planets and the moons came out and created our solar system. It is a solar system. And I know a lot of people have a hard time wrapping their minds around that. I don't know why. It's very clearly evident in the scriptures. That's the cosmogony and cosmology of the scriptures. It's based on the solar centricism, Abel is another one. Able is an interesting word because it is evo, and it's like this. Okay, another one. That's how they tricked us, ladies and gentlemen, with the symbols, with the letters. They changed the letters. And by the way, if you're wanting to call in, okay, because I'm feeling in my voice right now, I wouldn't mind a break if somebody wants to call in with a comment or a question, just to spell me for a moment. You're welcome to. The number here is 608-566-7295. 608-566-7295. You can call in with a great lie of history, or you may know a word that kills, or if you have if you're a sky watcher and you've got an observation, then give us a call. We'd love to hear what you're seeing out there. And thank you, Tam Bear, for your wonderful comments. Smash the like button. I like the way it is. Well, don't break it, okay? But yeah, hit the like button, and we sure appreciate that. I'm certainly not here looking for ratings. That's not my agenda. I'm serving the great breath of the wind and fire, and therefore I don't really focus on that. In fact, I don't expect to ever have a big following, because the truth as I'm presenting it here, as you notice, it's not okay, Ninja. Does that mean you're calling in? Okay, call and give a call. And but it's not about ratings here. And I do appreciate all the likes and all the wonderful comments, and I do love the comments and always enjoy them, because they do give me encouragement. But the thing is, when people hear a lot of the things that I'm sharing here, they can't get it. That's where the word behold literally means you must see and read it for yourself. I can't make you see anything. And it took me 40 plus years, like near 50, since I've been studying ancient history and has read the scriptures for the first time at age 16. It's taken me a lifetime to be able to make sense out of the code and what they've really done to us. And our scriptures are all corrupt. And that's okay, because we can still get the truth. The light shines through it. There's a reason it's corrupt. You just need to go back and listen to the Forbidden History series starting June 21st. Okay, but it looks like we've got Ninja Cat from down under, or is it down over now? Are we on the bottom and you on the top, Ninja? Good to have you.
G'day. Good to be here.
Yeah.
I love this program, and I miss it very much. So thank you, Desert.
Thank you.
It's fantastic. I'm loving it. I'm feeling it. I don't know. I cannot answer that question. I think we're almost in the middle, so we'll meet halfway. Okay.
Oh, okay. We're all at the equator now. Then is that it?
Yes.
The Earth turned 90 degrees, and we're all in the tropics now. That's why it's getting so hot, right?
Yeah, except for actually, it's getting hot here now. One of the coldest winters on record, and yet we seem to be positioned higher up on the planet. Yeah. But it's hot today. It's very hot. It was hot yesterday too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Hi everyone. I can't see the chat at the moment, but I love you all. And
Lynn is saying hi. She's saying hi, Ninja.
G'day.
With a cat and a heart. Mm-hmm.
Sorry?
With a cat and a heart picture.
Aww. I've been going through my notes, and I've kind of deciphered, like, I can translate what I've written, meaning that my writing is not that great. So I have two wows. One was a pretty massive one, actually. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah. What is it that you said? What was that last sentence? I didn't get it.
Sorry, I'll just speak.
You're speaking Australian. Speak a little more English for me, please. Thank you very much.
Okay, and I would speak a little slower.
Slower. Okay.
Don't get me started. We're live. I was just rambling. When I write down my notes, they're all over the place as I'm thinking of them. And my writing, they say bad writing is a sign of intelligence. So I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Can be incomprehensible at times. So I'm translating my own writing. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to hear the first one?
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't hear you then, by the way. I just heard noise. Okay. I was looking at words, and as I'm going on little word adventures around your dictionary, little memories pop back up into my head all the time, like that has been forgotten for years. And there's one here. I was looking at heaven, meaning the universe, and like I've seen this several times, but it was only a week ago it really stood out, and the memory came back. And I wrote down, before I knew, meaning before the program, before I knew or believed, okay, I've written a bit more. Like you, for those who don't know my history, I'm new to connecting with Yeshua. I have not been religious. I tried to attempt a spiritual connection by going all New Agey, and I was doing all the wrong things anyway. And yeah, I did not get a connection with Yeshua until this year. So I'm a new.
Yeah. You said this year. That means this year, correct?
This year. This year.
All right. Just want to translate for our listeners. Go ahead. And this is good news. This is a very wonderful story. You've got a great story, and I'm having fun. But we got to laugh about something with all the bad news we got in our world, right?
Yeah. But I believe that, like, also, as we can all relate to this. Like, I've had my own struggle with darkness. I fell way into darkness. The whole time still searching for truth and believing I was a good person, but not acting like a good person, and just falling further and further away. I can't remember what I was getting at now. When I was a child, I remember the innocence. I remember being a non-smoker. I remember looking at everything with wonder. And lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Well, you'll get it back.
I remember.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's coming. I remember as a child, and then innocence left, and I got right into New Age and drugs and all sorts of things. Still believed I was good, but behaving badly. Anyway, so I was going to NA meetings. I was getting to a point there, but it's completely gone, so I'll continue with my writing.
Okay.
I was going to NA meetings, and I believed there was a creator, but didn't know how to connect, and didn't know, but just didn't know. So when we used to read the Serenity Prayer at the end, I wouldn't say the word God, I'd say the universe. There you go.
Yeah, a lot of well, not a lot, but I have a few friends that for some reason don't regard or recognize the true title of Yahweh, who is the great Elohim, and they refer to who their idea of God is as the universe. But the irony is they're acknowledging the physical creation, which is the illusion, and therefore not actually acknowledging the spirit.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. It just like wowed me. Looking at the word heaven and seeing that it's really called the universe. And
well,
yeah,
okay, well, heaven is one of the ultimate cyber codes, and it represents the cosmos or universe, as you say, or the sky, or also the sun. And so it depends upon what the textual arrangement is of the Eshavors or words. I want to say context, but we know context is one of those negative words. So the textual, we'll have to use it because there's no better way, to say it. Actually, the context of whatever you're reading. So then it transliterates correctly because the code of heaven is the even, and we know that the even or the evening is when the sun goes down and the darkness comes. And so what they're calling heaven as a code means the darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm following you. Sorry, following you. I've got my thoughts back now that I forgot earlier.
Great.
When I fell into darkness, there was no happiness, there was no joy. Anything expressed was fake. And even as a child, I never really felt pure happiness and unconditional love. And now I'm overflowing with it. Like when I'm connected, I'm overflowing with it. I do, like this week, as you know, it's been a struggle, but I'm bouncing back a lot easier. And because I'm new to all this, it is taking a while to teach myself to get into the new habit of, I don't want to say the word faith, you were just talking about the word faith, have trust. I know it's all real. I know I have a connection. I know connecting. There's always a light. But I have to keep reminding myself. It's like I'm reprogramming myself. And I'm overflowing with all this unconditional love and joy and all wows and giggles. And I want to share that. And I believe that is our strength, because fear and the creation of darkness and that's all negative. And what I'm feeling is positive. Don't get me started with frequencies and all that sort of thing, because I was about to.
Right.
Can you see where I'm going with this? Like that, to me, what I'm feeling, that is the light. That is our strength in this world, with the way the world's going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I gather also from the fact that you were able to get the picture on the true nature of the cosmos and who our Redeemer is versus the generic term God, which is an ambiguous nature and doesn't define anything. But you having listened in since the beginning of this broadcast, were able to see the true nature of things, and also the grand conspiracy of the lies within our scriptures and all these things. I know you got a collective of a lot of things in your bag that really helped you out in that regard, right, Ninja?
Yes. Like I've said, my head is overflowing, and little bits and pieces are connecting and coming back as I'm learning more, and it's just amazing. Like, it's just,
Wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's been a long journey for me to be able to express these things and to to get it out. But it's rewarding when other people are finally getting it, because it took me the 40-year journey in the wilderness since I climbed the mountain back 40 years ago when I was 22 years old, and had the vision open up for me, and was able to then interpret words and learn that the true secret is purifying oneself and living free from sin. It is absolutely a must in order to purge ourselves of the world, and then the one who made all things can then fully interact with us. He will interact with us while we're still on the lower level of discovery. We're trying to learn the true nature of things and what have you. It's as big as the universe is, so is His mercy, and so His patience. And that's really the good news, because it's taken me a long time to work on myself, and I'm not where I want to be yet, but I know I'm on the threshold, and that's exciting to be there after so long of discovery. I know Yeshua gave me this download that I have, not because of me, but because the lies and deception are so bad and so great, and therefore He wants the knowledge of truth coming out for the benefit of others, and that we would then also continue to spread the word. So it's it's so everybody's collective effort, and even supporting the ministry, the translation project. It's a big one. All these years, I have not been able to afford to publish the works, and then the local Masonic order tapped into my computer and deleted all my data from my other computer January this year. The local computer store was in on it. Their signature was left in the computer. That's why I know that. And so we've had more people coming against us to hurt us than we have supporting us. It's been a very lonely journey, and in the process, I've just been learning. I keep learning. I continue studying. I don't stop in that regard, and that's the beauty, that the treasure in heaven is the knowledge that we receive from Him that nobody can take from us. That's what He talked about. Lay up your treasure in heaven, which is in this code is the throne of the Son, which is your soul, which is your mind. Your mind without a D is the mind, the gold mine that is you. If you can only tap into it correctly.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing. That's what you're helping us do. It's working. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, it's a waking up to our true potential and the true nature of who we are.
Yeah.
And that we're made in the image of the great light. We are made in the image of the light, but we have to put on the light. That's the garment, the outer garment.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Right. Well, it wouldn't be wow, it'd be vav. Vav.
And no talking. Yeah, sorry, what?
It wouldn't be wow, it would be vav. The waves. Vav. V-A-V. Vav, 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 boom. You get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's okay. You can still say wow. But I just, we're going with symbols. We're talking symbols. Go ahead.
I love saying wow.
Yeah, that's okay. You can say vav wow. Wow vav.
No, that sounds okay when you do it.
well, also, the reason they made a car called the VW, the Beetle, the Bug, was so that they wouldn't forget in the Yiddish people, all the playing their secret code. VW. Don't forget the W is a V is a W. Okay, yeah, got it. Those goyim, they'll never get it. They're stupid goyim.
Well, do you want me to read out another note that I took?
Yeah, we can do one more, and then we'll get back.
Okay, yeah, I should. I've shut myself in my room. I should really be paying attention now. Anyway, another note I took. This one's a bit all over the place. I'll try not to get sidetracked.
Yeah, and just to qualify, because Lynn, thank you, Lynn, put up Vav equals wow, but you see also the V is a W, but also the A is the O. Okay, so if you realize that the A is the first and it is the compass. It's the architect's compass. The architect is Yavohe, and if you take the compass, you can draw a circle below. So the circle is below the A, and so therefore the A and the O are one, and Wow is a direct parallel with Vav. So in the sense of Wow, in the original thought, when they got excited, they literally may have said something like Vava, Vavum. That's maybe where it comes from.
Oh, wow. Oh, sorry. I'm writing that down. Sorry, I'm writing that down.
Well, yeah, you got it on the board. When you get off, you'll be able to see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Vav is the wave, and when you just look at, I'm going to put a series of V's next to each other. Just you'll be able to see it after. I know you can't see it right now, but just hang in there. Okay.
Yeah, I want to see it.
This is called the V wave. It's the V wave. It's the up and down, up and down, up and down of the wave. You see, it's the VA, 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 VA. They are the same letter. The V and A come together, create the six-pointed star of creation.
Wow. Again.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that other word yet. I'm going to practice off the phone first.
All right.
Okay. You ready? You ready for the second one?
Yes, I am.
Okay. It's a bit all over the place. It was when I was watching, I don't know if this is a title. I've just written the Explore Jerusalem vid. You know, the backpacker guy that was walking around? You sent it to me. So.
No, start over again. I missed part of that, so try it again.
It was a while ago. A video, there was a guy with a backpack walking around exploring Jerusalem.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, there was a part where they showed Yeshua's tomb buried by Uncle Joseph. And I noticed the candles. And so I've written here, I only went back and saw this note today. I've written here, candles, tell me if I'm wrong here. And I've got candles are light. Next to it I've got burn in hell. Hell is not hot or fire. Hell is cold and darkness, void, nothing. So that's all a lie. It's twisted. Fire, like heat and fire, is the light. It's all backwards. And that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, hell is the grave. You know, hell is the grave. So that it is cold. We don't. You know, if people don't fully transcend according to the scriptures, apparently, even according to the ancient scriptures and the lost writings of Yeshua, as in the Aquarian Gospel, people will come back in another life, maybe even on another planet where there's life just like here, and have another chance to transcend. But there is no eternal punishment. The great divine love does not want people that he made to be tortured forever with no hope. That is not the divine love. That's a fraud, and that's given to us by Babylon and the Vatican. Both the same, both in their own time.
Yes, just seeing the candles made me think of it. Just made me think of light and fire, and just the deception there, like how people say burn in hell and it's hot when it's not. It's all twisted and backwards. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's fairy tales built around everything dealing with religion. It's that's the way they control our thinking with these fairy tales.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Well, that's it. That's all.
All right.
So,
then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a break real quick, and then pick it up on the other side. I'm going to come back with some more words that they killed us with, and then I believe Shelley may be calling in from California with some comments and questions of her own. So thank you, Ninja, for calling in. All right.
Thank you, Desert, for letting me. And love and light to you always.
All right, same here. And we'll talk talk to you on the chat. And
okay.
And
I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, and give me a heads up. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Give me a heads up that the audio. Well, I won't know. I guess I'll figure it out. I don't know what happened last time, but I'm setting up the desktop right now. All right.
Yeah, it was just music and no pictures, so I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
thank you.
Okay.
All right, bye. All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. So I got that part. See ya. All right, I got that part, and that was Ninja Cat down in Australia, and I think I'm good here. So let me give it a shot. I'm not a technical geek. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, I see that part. It's showing my. Oh yeah, there. Okay, I know I got it now. Okay, it should work. Here we go. And don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. You're tuned in right here to the Forbidden History series. Just taking a short break. You got some interesting imagery to look at. The world, Confucius said, signs and symbols rule the world, not words nor law. Signs and symbols. You know who they are if you can read the signs. Okay? We'll be right back. What's that? It's me on the snow. Nobody to talk to. And welcome back to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Desert Owl, your host, the bird who sees in the night, and I see too much. Wish to be able to find that proverbial blue pill, but once you've had your eyes open, and you can close them actually if you want to, but that wouldn't do us very well, would it? To close our eyes to the great truth and to the great light. And if you look at the picture that is on the screen, you'll see Ezekiel with the vision that he had. And notice, now this comes from Jewish archives, and I see you made it back, Ninja. Great, okay, and because you were having some problem getting in. All right. So, but you see Ezekiel looking up at the sun, and who's in the sun? It's somebody seated on the throne of the sun. And so when you heard me talking about the throne of the sun and the Great Spirit rules from the throne of the sun, well, here in Jewish society, in their interpretation of the vision, that's exactly what they're showing. They're showing that the Great Spirit symbolically, because we know the Spirit is everywhere, but in the symbolism, is ruling from his heart, from the throne of the sun, because he is Spirit. Okay, right? So that's a powerful picture that you need to realize, because that is the symbol of Yeshua, the logo, the image, the light. Okay, so it's a great mystery. And then in this mystery, we have Abel, and I'm going to type it in here as we see it, Abel. And then, but we have, it's a code, because they're not spelling, they're giving it into us in the wrong spelling, because they had to on purpose. And it would be more correctly A-B-B-E-L-L, like this. Okay. Ab-Bel, meaning the first ball. Well, we know that Bel equals ball. Right? But yet this is really the way it should be spelled. There is no B. It's a V. The B is a cover for a V. And this is really how it would be, ladies and gentlemen. More like that. Eva. Eval. And they're the vol for volumes. Av for the first star. And so Aval means the light, the first light in the darkness. That's one of the aspects of Aval, the first light in the darkness. Okay, and so even though he came second, he represents that which is first, and it is the light. Right. Well, there's typically a lag. Then everything's right as long as you're able to hear. So able is the ultimate code. Okay, it is the ultimate code because there's so much that's derived from it, and it's a primary word within the story of our creation. So ball in the pagan tradition is in reference to Abel in our tradition, because in the ancient tradition they said that the cultures were worshiping the first man who gave his life, who spilled his blood, and that was Aval, and they said he spilled his blood for mankind in the metaphor of symbolism. So there's a lot to deal with that, but that's a primer for you. Realize it's AV. AV is the first two letters of the original alphabet. You put them together and you get the 6 points of the star, and there's a whole lot going on there. Eshavor, we've talked about that word Esha, and Eshulfar. Now I'm realizing that in a lot of the words, like in Shalom, which should be Eshalom, the same with Shofar, which is the shofar, the ram's horn. It's Eshulfar. It's Eshulfar. The sound, the knowledge of the sound of the eye that goes far. That's the literal expression of that. And there's so much within these words, ladies and gentlemen. Anglo-Saxons, also known as Saxon angels, strange to find the Middle English name of angel. Anglo slipped right into our sacred scriptures. Thus, angel Saxons have made themselves the Elohim, or the gods. Okay, but they got us on the hook. Just like Jews put their name in, supplemented Yudean or Israel or Hebrew, they put in the word Jew. Never existed up until 1,000 years ago, that word. And righteousness is a cyber code for the flowing perfection of light. The flowing perfection of light, that's what it is. Righteousness is the flowing perfection of light. And Zay, T-Z-A-Y, is seed, and C, and S-E-A, S-C-E-D, and seat, also S-E-A-T, where you sit, because we sit. So these are primary. The S, there's a battle between the S and the Z, and that's why sun equals Zen, but would correctly be spelled Zen. Okay, it means without number, infinite. And is not that what the sun is, ladies and gentlemen? Infinite power over all these millions and millions and actually billions of years. It has been charged by the great force of Yahweh and has been shining in the darkness all this time. And it's infinite. The atoms keep falling, but there's no end. There's no end. It is truly the great mystery of creation, And but we have to realize that when the words, the Ashavors came west, when they came west from the east, they destroyed the original words, and we need to see them. Just like the word Ezekiel. Ezekiel would be more correctly Atzekeu. Atzekeu. Okay? And it means the powerful eye with the fiery keys. Well, there's Ezekiel right there, right? The powerful eye with the fiery keys. Clearly, he was a visionary. And clearly, he received the message from the throne of the sun, as we see in this picture right here. Ezekiel. And Cain, now we know the switch out. Okay, so Cain is actually gain. And that's what the serpent wanted to do, was to gain on this earth. The Naga, who was Adam, wanted to gain. And there, we've talked about that story, so just go listen to the back issues. But Gaon is means to return to me, Gaon, and also where we get the word game from. The word game, because the Naga played the first game, and it was played on the woman, but yet the woman got the rap. That's the irony behind it. And I'm wanting Shelley, if you can call in at this time, okay, and we'll entertain any comments or questions or words that you're dealing with, and then we'll probably call it a wrap after that. So Shelley, if you're still tuned in there, call me. I guess you're going to call me on Skype, right? So my Skype is on, and I'll stand by. And L is now, as I pointed out, Ool, O-O-L. E-L equals Ool. Okay, that's how they changed the words so we don't get the picture. The two O's are the symbol of sun and moon, the two circles, and the L is the symbol of time. Whoa! Let's dance. All right. And Shelley from California, good to have you.
Hello, hello, hello.
And how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
Well, great. And yeah, I was just pointing out that the L equal. Are you still able to see your board?
Yes, I'm watching. Yes.
All right. So basically, L is Ool, and then if we look at the symbol, this is real where we can tell that this is true, because the two O's represent the primary circles that man has been seeing from the beginning of time, and it's the sun and moon. And then L is a symbol of time, the obelisk, walking through time, and therefore the Ool in the mystique then also meaning the two eyes being in the primordial sense, the all-seeing eye being the sun, and the blind eye in the darkness meaning the moon. The moon has no light of its own. It's a reflection of the sun, but and that's why the occult love the moon, because it's in the darkness, because they're in the darkness. But so anyway, there's the symbolism of that. Can't you can see that pretty clearly, I imagine, Shelley, right? You've been following?
Yes, I see it.
Yeah, we've got to read the symbol. That confirms what the word is about. That's why I can know that this is an original aspect or an original thought, and that the L became the corruption. That's all it is. So in other words, when they talk about the Phoenicians worshiping El in the singular versus Elohim, El, they're really worshiping the owl, and that when we go to Bohemian Grove, we see the owl, right? We see they're worshiping an owl called Moloch. I never knew Moloch was an owl back in the 1980s. I didn't know about that stuff, and I only knew the Heavenly Father made me an owl as one who could see in the night, as a visionary myself. So anyway, there's the symbolism, and we have to read those symbols. So anyway, you have anywhere you want to take us this evening?
Sure. off subject, off of the words, I had a question on, how I've been hearing a lot about the locusts in Revelation 9. You know how the locusts are coming out of the pit and they're going to sting men and stuff like that. I wanted to ask you about that scripture.
Okay, yeah, the locust in Revelation 9. Can you actually read that particular verse?
I have it up somewhere right here.
I'll tell you what, while you're looking it up, I'm
Yeah.
going to get my Farrar Fenton, and that way I can be looking at it with you. So let me just put on a song just for a moment, and I'll just give me less than a minute. Be right back.
Sure.
All right, and I am back.
All right.
And we're on Revelations 9.
Yeah, it's 9:3.
Okay, going there. Revelation. Let's see here. Are you in your Fenton, or what are you're using?
Well, I had the Bible Gateway up because it was,
Okay.
on the computer, but I also have it in my hands with the Fenton Bible.
All right. 9:3.
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead. Read.
And from the smoke there came locusts upon the land, and they were endowed with power, resembling the power possessed by the scorpions of the earth. But they were commanded not to injure the herbage of the earth, nor any grass, nor any tree, but only those men who have not the mark of God upon their foreheads.
Right.
And it was
No, finish.
Okay, and it was granted to them not to kill them, but so that they should be tormented for 5 months. And their torture was like that of a scorpion when it stings a man. During those days, men will seek death, but not find it. They shall long to die, and death will fly from them.
Right. Okay. So I'm writing a note here. Okay. So, and the sun and the atmosphere were, I'm reading Fenton, and the sun and the atmosphere were darkened from the smoke of the pit. And the pit is the earth. Okay. The earth is a bottomless pit. And people, obviously, if they think the earth is flat, they're not going to be able to see that. But the earth is known as the bottomless pit also because there's no bottom. And pit means seed. It's the bottomless seed, just like the sun is regarded as the seed of light, where all life came from, the primordial seed. And so when it's talking about, and there came locusts upon the land, well, a locust is a symbol for consumption. And so, but then when it says, and they were endowed with power resembling the power possessed by the scorpions of the earth, but they were commanded not to injure the herbage of the earth, nor any grass or any tree. And immediately realized that the question is, what aspect is the herbage and the grass and the tree? And it's talking about green. That they were commanded not to injure the green herbage of the earth, nor any green grass, nor any green tree, because the green implies those who are pure, those who are of the truth, are then the green. Like the perfect symbol is the last one for the evergreen tree, because the evergreen tree is the symbol of eternity, meaning eternal life within you. So the judgment that's destined to come upon the world, whether it's talking about our present time now or whether it's talking about 2,000 years ago, it comes for those who are in the darkness, not those who are in the light. So we are not likely to fall victim to natural disaster. It doesn't mean we may not get rained on or we may not get blown by some hard winds, but the devastation that totally destroys life would not be a part of the anointed's fate, as we talked about at the beginning, fate versus destiny. It would be more likely we would be killed politically or criminally by people like Muslims that want to cut the heads off of Christians. But so we have to read it not in the literal sense, but in the metaphor, because the locust is that which consumes. Whether we're talking about what we're concerned about from the sky, or whether what we're talking about from the political state, or any other natural disaster, which would be from ancient time considered a judgment upon people. A flood, tsunami, earthquake, you name it, volcano. That the injury. In other words, we can see how the spirit acted, for instance, with Lot and his family when they were in the worst place on earth, right? Sodom, the city of Sodom, and they were literally pulled out because they were not moving quick enough. So they were pulled out so that the destruction could occur, and so it would be the same thing as we see in the stories over and over, that those who are serving the light are delivered from the fiery furnace, from the lion's den, from prison, from all devastation. So it's most people are trying to interpret Revelations for today, but literally in the very beginning and at the end of the book, Yalganun, John is saying these are the things that must shortly come to pass. So shortly, and in fact, my contention is that that's also a mistranslation, and it would have been that these are the things that have quickly come to pass, that they already happened, because this story of Revelation, with maybe just a couple exceptions, is in reference to what occurred when Yeshua came to earth and changed the ages from darkness into the golden age of light, and the new Jerusalem came down. What happened in the end of the book? The new Jerusalem came down on 12 foundations, and there was a road paved with gold as clear as glass. So there's people want to interpret the deep symbolism with Revelations, and yet, as we know, most people can't even interpret the fact that his second coming was that he rose from the dead. That's when he came back. That's when he had victory. That's when all power was given unto him. That's when he said, I am with you always, even unto the end of the earth. And yet people are still saying he's coming back when he said he's already with us. They can't read simple English.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all a spiritual decision. Mm-hmm.
That's very good. Okay, and then since we're in Revelation here, what about the red dragon in Revelation 12?
Revelation 12. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. All right. And afterwards, a great sign appeared. And I'm reading Farrar Fenton, by the way, and anybody can get a copy of Farrar Fenton by going to artisanpublishers.com. That's artisanpublishers.com. Afterwards, a great sign appeared in the sky. A woman, and this is the virgin, clothed with the sun. That's how we can know that she is the virgin. And by the way, that paper sound is picking up pretty good over the microphone.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. So a virgin clothed with the sun, she's in the light, and the moon beneath her feet. That's at the end. It's the extreme opposite polarities of sun and moon, light and darkness. The darkness are at the feet. Clad with the sun, the moon beneath her feet, and upon her head is a crown of 12 stars. And she was with child, and this is the child Yeshua, the baby that she's bringing forth, and cried, agonized and tormented to bring forth. Then another sign was seen in the sky, a great red dragon. Well, that really sounds, in that sense, being that it's in the sky, the Nibiru system, and it's been alluded to that may have been an event that was occurring during the sacrifice and the betrayal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the red dragon, or as they related to the Nibiru, right? possessing 7 heads and 10 horns. But if this is purely symbolism and Yeshua or Yolganon is having a vision, then it may have nothing to do with the incoming star system we are concerned about today, but it's just simply a vision because it says possessing 7 heads but and 10 horns. It almost sounds like the military government here, but let's just take it further. And upon the head 7 crowns. Well, if the 7 crowns are the 7 hills, that would be also the 7 hills of Rome. And the power, the 10 horns would be the 10 Khazars or Caesars that were in the primary part of the Republic of Rome. And his tail swept down the third of the stars of the sky and threw them upon the earth. And there were 3 ages that our scriptures were referring to. And it was the age before the flood, the age after the flood, and then the golden age of light that Yeshua brought in with when he rose from the dead, when he came back. Continuing here on verse 3 and verse 4, and his tail swept down the third of the stars of the sky and threw them upon the earth. And the dragon placed himself before the woman who was about to be delivered. So if the dragon, is sounds like a political state because he was about to get the baby. And that would have been, actually, wasn't it Herod who wanted to kill the baby once he learned from the wise men that the baby was about to be born, and he wanted to slay the baby. We know that because he slayed all the babies from 1 year old to a year in the womb. That's the 2 years, a year out and a year in, making 2 years in the way they reckon time in their time, so that when she was delivered, he might devour the child. And she bore a son, a man who will rule with an iron rod all the nations. That's Yeshua. That's Yeshua ruling. And her child was conveyed up towards the great Elohim and towards his throne. That's the Son. You see the Son throne. That's where, because that's where the Spirit symbolically comes from. But the woman then fled to the desert. That's Meitzar. That's Egypt, where the great Elohim had a retreat prepared for her, and that's for that he might feed her for 1,260 days. Well, that's the 3 years that Mary and Elizabeth stayed in Zoan. Okay, so are you getting the picture?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yep.
that's why it's so hard to read for people to get the symbolism, because they've literally been hearing repeated over and over misinterpretations and not actually simply seeing it as the story, as Yeshua's story when he came to earth and what happened.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and
Thank
I saw this like 35 years ago. I saw this right out the gate, that the woman giving birth is, it's Mary giving birth to Yeshua. And the dragon is the political state, but the only thing was, also, Jerusalem is on 7 hills. And so therefore the red dragon, must be, because it wasn't Rome, it was Herod, right? And he was an Edomite. And but he represents the dragoon, the dragoon that is the political state. It's all one world system, right? It's a one world system. So they're all different parts of the tentacles, right?
Right.
Okay.
Very good. Thanks. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. You really try to get me into as deep as the waters as you can, don't you?
Of course, that's what we're supposed to do, right? Pick your brain.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for this week. I'll come up with more questions next week.
Okay. Okay. And how are things in California? Are you anything since last week happening over there?
It's been hot still. It's just been like in the 80s and the white sun beating down. I can't wait to get my hat. I ordered one of those hats, as you know.
Yeah.
And I should be getting it probably Monday because I have it shipped to work. So.
Okay. Yeah,
it's
well,
been hot, but
yeah, even in your car, you need to wear it, Shelley, because the radiation goes right through everything, right through everything, and the car is the worst place to be actually. So when you're driving, and wear those sunglasses. And hi to Rhea, good to have you on the broadcast. Hadn't seen you in a while, Rhea. Um, and yeah, and just you're in one of the probably the most dangerous spots to be in America, right? With the shake and bake, and
mhm,
the predictions of the earthquakes and the tsunamis. You're on that fault line over there, and then you've got pure chaos when the economics break down. You're right there in the worst place where people rioting. We remember the L.A. riots back in the late 1980s, right?
mhm, right,
When they everything shut down with the earthquakes, and so just make sure you've got all of your eggs in a row for the worst case scenario, right? Yeshua told us to be wise as the
mhm,
serpent. So be prepared for all worst case scenarios, and and don't let people know your protocols. You need to be private. Everybody needs to be private with their preparations, because if they know you got water, you got food, you got, what I'm saying, then people can be knocking on your
yeah,
door, right?
right.
And so it's going to be a great liability for other people to know your business, and so be very as the military protocol need to know basis. You tell people what they need to know if they need to know, and so take some advice from an owl, okay?
I'm taking your advice. I agree.
All right. So
Yep.
okay, so then Shelley, thank you, and we'll call it a wrap for this evening, unless anybody wants to call in real quick. 608-566-7295. Otherwise, we'll look for everybody uh, next Sunday. I'm just getting in my workout program. I'm having success every day, building my strength, and then I hope to be back within about a week or two. And I do want to do mornings again if possible, at least once a day if I can, maybe mid afternoon, but I'll work it out. And so, Shelley, you have a great week and be safe out there. And thank you. Okay. And then all of you out there, want to thank you for tuning in, and hope you do tell your friends about the Forbidden History series. And don't forget, we are all recorded, and you can send a link to any friend that you want to listen to. And okay, well, don't forget, I'm Desert Owl telling you, if you want to know the future, you simply need to look for the Forbidden History, because it's all right here on the RealPublicRadio.net Free America Radio Network. It's what they didn't want you to know that we tell right here. And thank you again, Shelley and Ninja. Y'all love Rhea, Lynn, all of you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Ninja. Thank you, Tim. Good night. And yeah, those kids will keep you going, won't they? Peace and love. Everybody have a safe week out there. Keep looking up.